And then what I would say with forgiveness is I think everything starts first with us. So a person that is having difficulty forgiving somebody else is
Mhm.
usually a person that also hasn't forgiven themselves.
Mhm.
And when we really sit with that, I think the first thing we get to sit with is guilt versus shame. So a lot of times we use these words interchangeably. However, they're very different.
Mm.
Guilt is a behavior related word. So it's I did something wrong. I did
Mm.
something wrong in the past, and therefore I can change it in the present or future, even if I don't necessarily have confidence in how to change it. It's a behavior, it's not me. Shame is I am wrong. There is something innately wrong with me that is fixed and ingrained and cannot be changed. And therefore, I need to hide or morph who I am because if anyone knew who I am, they would never accept me. And it's so
Mm.
much more deeply rooted. And when we hold either guilt or shame about ourselves, it's so uncomfortable. Like think about when you feel guilt, you feel it in your body. It's a
Yeah.
visceral
Yeah.
response that we want to project. We want to put it on other to make it that it's not our own, right? To put
Yeah.
blame or onus, and not in like a not in a criminalized way, just
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a natural way. This is uncomfortable. Get it out of me. It's your fault.
Yeah, I always say I feel like shame
Mm-hmm.
specifically,
Mm-hmm.
that feeling, it makes you hide. Brene Brown, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure you're familiar, but for listeners, she has a lot to say about shame. She's done a lot of research around shame. And I think that's kind of a side effect of the pandemic. I feel like people are more quick to shame others and call them out versus call them in. And I feel like shame just polarizes people further because it makes you draw within. It doesn't make you empathetic and loving. It makes you blocked off. So that's my
I
only
love
side.
that. No, I would love to add to that. And, exactly, love moves towards, fear moves away. And I think the my truth is we are only as sick as our secrets, and shame
Mm.
dissipates with compassion and empathy. And if we can really sit in a space of discomfort and meet somebody with love, with curiosity, with compassion, rather than judgment or separation, that's when we bridge rather than barrier. And the first
Mm.
thing shame wants to do is isolate and separate. And yes, I agree with the call out versus call forward. I love how you worded that. And I think it's not to say that we don't get to call people forward, call people into their best self, call people
Mm.
into the awareness of languaging and or actions, behaviors that feel unsafe to the recipient, but we get to do it in a way that they can hear it. And I don't
Yeah.
always have the perfect answer of how to do that. I also think I'm privileged and I'm white and all of these things that I may not know the answer, but I'm so open to hearing the answer. And
Mm.
I think there is a way to bridge the gap. And if you look at media thrive off polarization,
Oh yeah.
thrive off shame, blame, guilt. And it's that discomfort that then we want to watch more because we want to blame other. We want to be in a narrative where it's not about us, but
Yeah.
actually then we have no power. Because if the narrative's not about us, then we can't change the narrative.